Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Off Axis Podcast, where we talk entertainment, acrobatics, business, entrepreneurship, fitness, and more. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys want to support, please share with your friends. Now, let's jump into the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Off Axis Podcast. I have Danny Calderin here.
Yes, sir.
Say your last name.
Calderin.
Okay, because I didn't want to fuck that up. There's no way that I was going to say that correctly. Danny, you're from Las Vegas, correct?
Yes. I was born in Puerto Rico, but I've been in Vegas for 18 years, so definitely a Las Vegas local.
Cool. And can you kind of tell everyone a little bit about what you do?
Yes, sir, of course. So I own an outdoor advertising, outdoor media agency here in Vegas. We operate nationwide. I own America's largest digital billboard truck. We have over 40-plus digital billboards all over Vegas. 24 hologram advertising backpacks for street teams, 200 Ubers and Lyfts with rear window digital billboards. You know, we pretty much are the one-stop shop for outdoor advertising, not just in Vegas, but nationwide. You know, if you want a campaign in Miami and New York and San Francisco, you know, clients reach out to me and we put it together and get their brand be seen.
Yeah. So for everyone listening, I know Danny because I was going to do a show and I was like, man, I need advertisements around town. Like, social media is cool and all. And I was talking to this guy at a party. He was like, oh, you got to talk to Danny. Danny's the guy in Las Vegas. So Danny's definitely a staple in the industry. How did you get started with that?
Funny story, actually. So I used to manage music artists here in Vegas, right? And my main producer and the artist I was managing at the time, we put together a project. When I put together the project, we had launched it, and a buddy of mine, his dad owned my first original truck. And I had rented out the truck that I own now to help promote the project, right? And when the truck pulled up, it was like a light bulb lit up over my head, and I was like, wow, I need this. This is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You know? And they were super busy. They're like general contractors and stuff, the guys that own the truck. So they were like, well, if you don't, they're like, well, we barely use the truck. If you want it, you can just buy it off of us. And I was like, don't play with me. I'll buy this right now. You know, so realistically, I got into the marketing advertising game because I started off in music and I was managing music artists. And then I kind of just, over the years, I realized that a lot of artists, no matter how talented they are, they lack in the branding and marketing department. And that is the most important department. You know, that is what you need to be on top of the most if you want to elevate your career to the next level. So I slowly transitioned my music management firm into a marketing agency. And, you know, I didn't like to do all the digital marketing, you know, all the little, just small little accounts, right? So I just started going hard on outdoor media. You know, I bought the truck, and then from the truck, slowly but surely over the last 5 years, just started acquiring assets into what it is now.
When you first got started, did you have the cash up front, or did you take out a personal loan or credit cards? Or
So
how did you do it?
I had cash at the time because I was doing a lot of events, right? So because I was in the music industry, I was doing a lot of house parties, you know, and stuff like that, hip-hop events, things like that. So I put up a quarter of what I purchased the truck for, and then I made payments with the owner at the time. Made payments for a couple of years, but realistically, I mean, the truck paid itself off within the first year.
Yeah, and you turned it into like a billboard right away?
Yeah, immediately. No, it was already the billboard truck. You know, it was already the LED billboard truck, and I was very blessed. So a lot of people aren't. When you purchase a business, when you start a business, you know, there's a lot of it takes a lot of time to develop the proof of concept, right? To prove to yourself, okay, this can make money over time. This can be consistent. I was really, really blessed because when I first bought the truck, I was in the music industry already. So I posted it on social media. I had dozens upon dozens of artists. For the first 8 months that I had the truck, I was booked almost every single day, you know, 4 hours, 6 hours a day, because every single artist in Vegas was like, wait, what? I can promote my music video up and down the Las Vegas Strip? This is unheard of.
That's
you know,
cool.
It was almost like I started a movement, you know, like an ideology of people were like, holy shit, like, yes, I just dropped my music video and it's, you know, I got X amount of views on Instagram, but I can take this to a whole next level. And for a few $100, you know, at the time I was doing like $80 an hour for artists, right? I was showing love. So for $320 for 4 hours, because I do a 4 hour minimum, for $320, I could promote my music video up and down the strip, get content of it, post that content on social media, and double down on the investment that I've already made with the music video.
Yep.
You know?
That makes sense. Like business, one of the main important parts about it is having distribution. And you kind of already had distribution like right away. You knew clients who would already just buy your stuff. So
yes,
kind of worked out right away.
It was honestly like a blessing. Like I said, a lot of businesses takes time. You open up a business like we were just talking about, you know, it's like, okay, it took 5-6 years for the business to blow up, you know, and that's what happens for 99% of businesses. I got really blessed because I was already really well known in the music industry. So immediately I had dozens and dozens of artists like, hey, we want to do this, we want to do this. But then there was a downfall to that too, though, because everybody knew that everybody was doing it, right? So 6, 7, 8 months later, kind of becomes oversaturated within the music industry, and it doesn't become as cool as it was originally. Yeah. So I went from like booked every single day to like, okay, these artists aren't gonna pay my bills anymore because it's not as cool for this artist to do it because he knows 9 other artists that already did this, right? So it doesn't really affect the masses, you know, the consumer as much. So I had to make the transition from artist to, you know, starting to reach out to corporations and businesses in Vegas and things like that to really make that leap. Yeah. And honestly, it was the best leap I ever made because, like they say, the cheap clients are always the biggest pain in the ass, and the expensive clients don't bother you at all. You know what I mean? And the artists are the cheap clients.
It's true. You got to set a pretty solid minimum. That's what we do. We do 10K minimum. We don't even touch anything below that at this point. Because when you do, like, those are the guys that complain and are like, oh, can we get an extra show or something?
Bro, it's funny you say that because that's quite literally it. A client that would pay $320 or $400 for 4 hours and they only wanted 4 hours, you know, that's the same client that's like, hey, where's the truck at now? Hey, it's scheduled at from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., let's say. They'll be like, hey, it's 4:02. Why is the truck not here? I was like, bro, we live in Las Vegas. It's a 30-foot truck. I can't just flip a U-turn on the Las Vegas Strip. You know, like, it's on the way. It's on the way, I promise you, but not everything goes as planned. At the same time, I have clients that'll pay me $10,000, $15,000 for a month of advertising, or like, you know, 2 weeks to a month of advertising on one of the trucks. They won't even ask me when the truck's on the road. You know, it didn't even cross their mind at all. They just trust me and they know that the truck's on the road when I told them it's going to be on the road. You know, they don't ask me for video, for proof, for GPS report, none of that. You know, it's funny the difference.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're going to outsource something, like, you know, advertiser or people would outsource advertising to you, like, that should be it. You shouldn't continue to worry about it. But, you know, those cheaper clients, it's like, that's probably 50% of their budget.
Exactly.
And then they're probably living off the other 50% or something. So if that thing doesn't turn around.
And that's kind of the tough part too, though. That's a struggle that I live with clients like that. It's like this kind of advertising, most outdoor media, right? Most outdoor media is not about immediate ROI, right? It's about long-term branding, building your brand and building the familiarity behind your name long-term. Yeah. So when you only have, like you said, $800 and you spend $400 of it on the truck, people are stressing because they're like, oh, well, how many, I need to make $400 and then some off this truck being on the road right now, right? Good example. I had an OnlyFans girl on my truck before. Truck was on the road for 8 hours, and I think she got like 3 QR code scans. And there's so many factors that determine whether whether the ad or the creative, that's what it's called, whether the creative is works well or not, right?
Of course.
So she just had like a blank, just normal looking, boring OnlyFans creative, and she only had like 3 people scan it. Mm-hmm. And after the 8 hours, she's like, oh, I want my money back. Only 3 people scanned it. And I'm like, that's not how this works. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you could pay the money to get the advertising, but if your advertisement sucks, no one's gonna watch it.
Yes, exact. And I that happens a lot with a lot of clients. Like they overcomplicate their creative. There's so much going on. You ever seen like a show flyer with 30 artists on the flyer? You can't even find the location or the time. There's so much going on.
Yeah, For sure.
You know, you're not going to convert. Simplicity is key. I just wrote a book called Takeover, and that's one of the chapters. I believe it's chapter 4 or 5, but I go into that, how when it comes to creative, simplicity is key, because you have 2 seconds to share your message. You have 2 seconds for people to know who you are, how to contact you, and what it is that you stand for and what it is that you're selling. You know, so it's got to be simple, straight to the point, and very like boom, bold in your face. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to make that mistake of having horrible like hook at the beginning of the video. I would like put this like stupid 10-second like image of like my logo having all these like bubbles around it and stuff, and like it looked cool and it took me forever to make. But like now I don't even put the logo in the video. I like start off our video with like 6 flips going on at the same time. A guy on a pogo stick is flipping over my head. So like at that point, you know, in 2 seconds they've already seen like the coolest shit.
Yes, exactly. And you got them reeled in, and that's the whole point, you know. And then people do that a lot. They'll have like an intro video, you know, like I send my videos or like my long form content out to an editor, and he had like 4 or 5 seconds, and it's like in the beginning of the video, and it's like my logo pops up, and then some, like you said, like bubbles, some bullshit is happening. And it's like, dude, they already scrolled to the next video.
Dude, a lot of editors, they don't get like a lot of editors, you know, they're only paid to create videos, but they're never putting their own money behind to see what the ROI is going to be. So they always make these like nice artistic pieces. And like, no offense to someone who's edited for me before, but you always get like these I'm like, I know, but let's just like cut to the chase.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
You can't have a 15-second intro. Like this is 2024, 2025.
What you have to understand too, they're kind of using your product to express their creativeness.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, don't do that.
Well,
I'm just trying to get the views.
Yeah. Fortunately, we have AI nowadays who I use this thing called Opus Clip. So for like this podcast and stuff, I'm going to use this. It's an AI. It's a website. And I'm just going to put in the YouTube link. And it is literally going to create hooks. And it's going to rate those hooks. Like this is probably going to do like, it's like a 95 out of 100 hook.
Okay.
And it'll just pull up this podcast. And within like, I'm sorry, editors, but like you're pretty much screwed at this point.
Yeah.
Within like 15 seconds, my hour-long YouTube video has like 30 different clips that I can pull from.
That's crazy.
And they're edited. It's gonna be your voice, my voice, and you know it'll like transition.
That's
all that
insane.
stuff.
And it clips it, edits it, captions it, all that.
Clips, edits, captions, all done, and the captions. And it'll have my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my Instagram, TikTok, all the platforms.
And it'll post it
already plugged in there. And not only that, but it will actually like put different captions that will do different on different way. Like, you know, LinkedIn is going to be completely different than TikTok because of the people on there. So it's going to be like more.
It knows each algorithm.
Stuff.
It knows each algorithm and pushes like that. That's actually insane.
I know.
Do you have to pay for it?
Of course you did.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I think it was probably like $250, but
that's for the year, or that's for.
Yeah. I mean, that's
not bad at all.
That's like 1 or 2 days of paying an editor.
Exactly. That's crazy.
So
I paid the editors $90.
Yeah.
If he did like 2 videos, you know. And this is overseas, so I was a hookup, and he did a really good job.
Yeah.
But $250 for the whole year, is it unlimited usage too, or?
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, there's no way you could use as many credits as they give you, unless you were posting like 5 times a day.
Okay.
I think it like gives you up to 5 times a day.
Okay. That's badass. I'm going to look into that. You
Yeah.
might have just changed my whole content strategy.
Dude, because I used to do the overseas stuff too, and I'm like, I apologize to the guy that used to do it. He did a good job, but like, dude, the ROI on this is crazy, and like it posts every single day, no matter what.
Yeah, you can't compete with that.
Can't compete.
Well, and a lot of things too. I had some VAs, had a team of VAs in India, and it's like not just the language barrier, but like the priority difference was tough. You know, I'd be like, hey, I'm trying to get these videos out. You know, I have a big show coming out, or I have something to promote, so I want to drop as much content before into them, and they're like, okay, well, we got to work on this too and do this, and I'm just like, no, like, let's get this done, please.
It's a different world out there too. So like, what's cool in our society is different out there. So
Absolutely.
Like, they don't even know what to.
Absolutely. I think that's a big issue, is the culture difference of like what works out there and what works here for a hook. Even that itself completely different.
For sure. Like I can't use it's hard for me to find like a videographer that's never been an acrobat before,
Mm-hmm.
because they'll film from all these like shit angles.
Mm-hmm. I can
And
see that.
they won't realize like, hey, I'm not trying to get like a cool like zoomed in shot of this guy flipping the air. I'm actually trying to like get a wide angle that shows audience clapping, having a good time at our show, and the set and stuff, because that's what I'm selling to the client.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
that
but
makes
they'll,
sense.
You know,
Do you ever like? Are you also looking for the camera to look like it's flipping and like to really like to create the experience within the video?
no.
No, you're just looking
Not
for
at
the
all.
crowd experience itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, just from my perspective, if I was selling to like 22-year-olds,
Yeah.
which I'm not,
No, yeah. They can't
So-
afford you.
yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
You know, almost all of my clients are 45 and up.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are probably 55 and up, actually. And they're older. They grew up on a different, you know, different mindset, different, you know, normal television where there wasn't all this crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to see all that anyways. And if you do all this crazy editing,
Yeah.
it's like, why is it edited so heavily?
It's almost like overstimulating to them too.
Yeah, they'll just turn like when people send me videos like if they're trying to work for me and they
Uh-huh.
send like this edited video, like I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They edited out the bad parts.
Yeah.
Like, I wanna
They're
see-
trying to make themselves look even better.
I want to see raw organic stuff.
Absolutely.
So that way, you know, I know this is what you actually look like. I don't want to see like one flip cut, one
Mhm.
another flip cut. You know?
Mm-hmm. Well, it kind of goes back to what we were just talking about too, though. Simplicity is key. Same thing with the creative. Same thing with the videos. Because at the end of the day, your videos that you send to the client to sell them, that's your creative, right? And
Yep.
it's like you want to keep it as simple as possible and as raw and organic and bold as possible, because you're showing them this is what we are, this is what we do.
Yep.
You know, not this guy did 2 backflips and I have the best videographer in the world, so those 2 backflips just like looked crazy.
Yeah.
You know, looked crazy entertaining.
Yep.
No, that's interesting though, because you would think, I feel like the videographers, it's again same thing. They use your product to express their creativeness,
Yeah.
but then it's a downfall of you because you're like, I'm paying for this. This is what I need.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Enough shitting on videographers.
Nice. And editors, yeah.
They've all disliked the video at this point. So, okay, let's get back to your business. So, you started off with one truck. What was the next purchase after that? And you said you have how many? Like
47, 40. Oh no. So in total, we have one truck in LA, one truck. Like we have trucks spread out in different markets,
Mhm.
right? So one in San Francisco that's actually on the road as we speak right now. One in LA, about 4 in Miami, 2 here in Vegas. We're building a third one in Vegas, but the third one that we're building here in Vegas is like something that the world has never seen before. It's the coolest thing in the world, right?
Really?
And should be done within like 7 to 8 weeks. I'm pretty much gonna tell you because it's already in the works, right?
Yeah.
I hadn't been telling anybody because I'm like, wait, I don't want anybody to steal this idea.
Breaking news.
Yes, breaking news. Seriously, it's the coolest shit in the world. I'm so proud of it. So it is a mobile sphere, right? So it's a LED sphere. So imagine the MSG sphere that we have here in Vegas,
Yeah.
but on wheels, driving around
What?
Vegas. Yeah.
So it's like 8 feet wide.
It's going to be like 8 feet. Yeah,
Like
8, 9
The
feet.
same size of a lane, basically.
A lane is 10 feet, so it'll have room about 1.5 feet on each side. So
Yeah.
pretty much this is the concept.
Whoa.
That's insane.
That's worth a lot more than a normal billboard.
Oh, it's insane. It's going to be so eye-catching. I mean, understand we live in the perfect city to do that because of the sphere.
Yeah.
Right? So we're in the middle of building that right now, and I'm actually really, really excited for the campaign. Like, for once I start pushing it, you know, I'm going to do a whole news media campaign, you know, really go on the news and tell people, because I don't think anyone's ever done this before. I know nobody in the U.S. has done it, for sure.
So the advertisers gotta advertise to advertise.
Oh, it's the biggest pain in the ass. It's actually hilarious. Like, I say this all the time. I say, marketing a marketing agency is ironically the hardest shit in the world to do.
Yeah.
You know, because your target demographic is so small. It's just business owners.
Yeah.
And then with something like me that's high ticket, you know, high value ticket items, it's such a small percentage of the business owners. And when it's no direct ROI, like how Google ads spend, it's like, hey, I spent 10 grand on Google ads, but I made 100 grand off of it, right?
Yeah.
What we do is more about long-term outdoor media. Outdoor media is about long-term branding, you know, and exposure, and really cementing yourselves as a leader within your industry. And like, these are all things that I talk about in my new book, right? Is like the psychological effects of outdoor media. And because of that, like, only certain people get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to spend 10 grand a month on billboards, even though I don't know how much money that's going to make me this month.
Yeah.
Out of, let's say 5% of the world, or 5% of the country is fucking business owners. Probably less.
Probably less, yeah.
Probably less, right? Let's say like 1%. Out of that 1%, probably 10% even have the budget to be able to consistently do the campaigns and the level that you need to do them to really cement yourself.
Yeah.
And out of that 10%, probably only 40% of those actually get it and understand, okay, this is a long-term game. I'm not worried about the ROI. You know, the ROI is priceless when you really put it into the you're really putting your brand cemented into people's brains.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
of course, you got to see something like 3 times before you remember it.
Yes, 3 times, and someone's got to see something 5 to 7 times before they buy it.
Yeah.
Right. You know, so we pretty much give people an avenue to create that 5 to 7 times, the 5 to 7 touch points. We give people the avenue to do 3 or 4 of those through one funnel. You know, whether it be the billboard truck, whether it be the billboards, the hologram backpacks, the rideshare billboards, you know, things like that. So that's 4 out of the 7 touch points right then and there.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I focus a lot on, like, we do this thing called Blitz campaign. And a lot of my target demographic is convention exhibitors, right? So a convention exhibitor comes into, let's say, for CES, right? Well, they're already spending 150, 200 grand to be in CES. So my whole sell point to them is, what's the point of spending 200 grand to be in CES if nobody knows you're there unless they walk by your booth?
Of course.
Right? So we do full takeovers. And that's why my book's called Takeover, right? It's really like me getting to the nitty and gritty of like doing a full market takeover.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of that is it's a blitz campaign, but I like to call it a takeover campaign, right? And it's like we do 2, 3 billboard trucks drive around the convention center as the attendees are walking into the convention center, right? Actually, let me start from the beginning. 15 billboards when the convention attendees are leaving the airport. So right when they touch down in Vegas, they see 15 billboards and they're on rotation with your advertising. And then, actually, no, let me rewind back. They get in an Uber, and the Uber has the rear window billboard with your brand on it.
Of course.
And now they're driving down Paradise, and they see 12, 15 billboards all on rotation with your brand on it. And now they're walking into the convention center. You know, they get dropped off the convention center. They're walking in, and they see 2, 3 billboard trucks driving around with your brand on it. And now they go inside the convention center, and they see 4 or 5 of your atmosphere models with our hologram advertising backpacks with your brand on the back.
Yeah.
You know, before they even get to your booth, in their eyes, you're cemented as a leader in the industry.
Of course.
You know, and that's a real, like, it's a priceless psychological effect that really you can't put a number on. But I guess you can too. Like, here's how impactful it is. I had a client, they spent 40 grand on a takeover with me during TPE last year. That same client, because of our Blitz campaign, got a $3 million deal with 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven rep at TPE literally was like, I've seen you guys everywhere in Vegas. I cannot get away from you guys. You guys are the real deal. You're doing the damn thing. They spent 40 grand, and because they were seen everywhere from the airport to the outside convention center to the inside of the convention center, that 40 grand investment got them a $3 million deal with 7-Eleven.
Damn.
It's fucking crazy.
Hang on, let me reset this camera.
Yeah. Oh, that's tight. I didn't realize you have your brand on the cups. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so my mom, like, for my birthday or for Christmas and stuff, like, I'm pretty hard to shop for.
Yeah, yeah.
So she just gets me like new things. Like she got me this. She got me this.
That's
she got
real.
me cups. Like she got me this necklace.
Okay, okay, moms.
She
That's
just gets
tight.
me like things with my brand on it. Cause she
That's
knows,
beautiful.
Like, at least I always like, more things with my brand on it.
Absolutely. And honestly, like, we love a supportive parent. You know what I mean? When we like, I tell people this about. Actually, I have a daughter on the way. Right, in 4 weeks, my daughter will be born, and I can't wait to be a father. But I tell people this all the time: is every single athlete, every single person that made it in life, they made it because of the undying, unwavering support of their parents. Whether it was two parents or they had one parent, but that one, because they didn't have the other, that one parent supported them with the strength of two. You know what I mean? It's so, that parental support will just do wonders.
Yeah, my mom used to take me to the skate park every day and just wait there for like 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, what a real one.
While I'm like potentially killing myself in the fucking skate park, like I come out, I look like I just like went to war, like my face is bloody, knees are like all cut up. And, like,
but I think it was worth it for her now.
Probably. I think she still wants me to be a PE teacher though.
No, hell no.
That's not happening.
No. I feel like that's the most like, no disrespect to PE teachers, but like that's the most like settled thing in life. Like, oh yeah, you just settled. Like, you ever watch Blue Mountain State, the TV show?
Yeah.
The guy that's the backup quarterback. He's like, I'm just trying to get laid, get fucked up in college, get laid, and then when I'm done, I'm just trying to be a PE teacher and just chill for the rest of my life. That's the most like you settled shit. No disrespect to PE teachers.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a grind that, I enjoy every single day of entrepreneurship. And
Absolutely.
Like every day I'm doing something different and I learn something new like every single day. Like I just made all these posters that I'm about to take to all these conventions I'm going to. And I created the whole thing with AI basically.
That's awesome.
Like I don't have a Halloween show yet, but I do to people who haven't seen our show yet.
Yeah.
The banner. We've done a couple Halloween shows. But now it looks like we got a fucking legit Halloween show thanks to AI.
That's fucking awesome. I'm glad that you've really drowned into that because it is the future. And as an entrepreneur and like, you got to wear so many hats. You got to wear so many hats when you really are on your journey and it's your vision. You can't expect anybody else to see your vision, right? So it's up to you to see it through. So it's like AI has just made everything so much easier in a lot of ways. And there's entrepreneurs that aren't diving into it. And those are the ones that are going to fall off, the ones that are just trying to do things the traditional old school way.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that are wasting budgets on things wasting time.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're going to fall behind from the people that are really taking advantage and doing that,
Yeah. Honestly, it's never been easier to be a business owner.
No.
Like I can, from this podcast, after we film this, this will be an hour long. In 1 more hour, I'll have like
30 clips.
100 clips done. 100.
That's so dope.
At least 100, across all platforms. That's 100 different times people will see me. That's just like one like arm of the business. And then, I'm creating posters and banners and stuff with AI. I just took our athletes from our shows, our summer shows, and I put them in like elf costumes and stuff just with AI.
Oh, no way.
So now we have like a full-on show that.
And you didn't even have to do that.
No, normally I would have to go out and I would have to film the guys in the outfits and all that stuff. And like,
coordinate it, buy the outfits,
everyone.
Get everybody sizing, pay everybody.
And it was done within a couple hours.
Wow.
So,
that is absolutely insane.
You learn a lot as an entrepreneur.
No, absolutely.
Like everything. Like I'm fluent in like mailing and creating products from China, imports, tariffs, all that stuff. I'm like super fluent on it from our shoe company.
Did you think that coming in, did you know it was going to be like that? Or have you just kind of been learning as you go and you're like, holy shit?
This is how delusional I was.
We've all been there.
Okay.
Let me hear
So
it.
I started a footwear company.
Okay.
It's cost $25,000 to get started in a footwear company.
Okay.
So that's the one thing I do like about footwear is like it's not like clothing where anyone with $100 can start a clothing line. Footwear, there's like a $25,000 minimum. You got to start with 1,000 pairs of shoes.
Okay.
The factories just won't work with numbers smaller than that, and that only gets you 10 sizes.
Okay.
So you get like 100 of each size, And that's only like sizes 4 through 13 or something like that. So if you want to do something like this, where we made a signature shoe for Tony Ferguson.
Oh,
we
that's
got
badass.
Black, white, red, blue, green.
Oh,
other
that's why
shoes.
you posted him yesterday on your story.
Tony was like one of our partners with the footwear company.
Oh, that's
so
badass.
he actually came into the footwear company at an early age
Yeah.
too, before we had anything. Like, there's no way we should have been working with Tony at all. And he put us on ESPN, all over. Tony had the distribution, the media distribution. He was like,
he's got a big fan base.
big fan base. So unfortunately for us, we made a lot of shoes, and only Tony's gold shoe sold out. They sold out. The gold shoe sold out pretty quick.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's just fire.
But
and that's more for like gymnasts, right? For
yeah. So this was like designed for Tony to like grapple and
okay, they're like
MMA
wrestling
stuff.
shoes, type of thing. Okay, that's
And then,
badass.
Then for acrobatics, we're known for acrobatics. So all the other shoes, if you go to some shows in like Cirque du Soleil or our main client is Disney World.
Oh no
So
way.
if you go to Disney World Park, like the Lion King show and a couple other shows, they're wearing our shoes.
That's fucking badass, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. I didn't know that.
Thanks.
That was before Off Axis, the acrobat side, right? That was the very beginning.
First one I produced a black shoe and call it an acrobat shoe. It was basically just a wrestling shoe that I made a little bit wider, and that was all I knew to do. I was like, well, I don't think the shoes should be skinny. Everyone who wants to roll their ankles, so I just made them wider and produced a shoe, and they fucking sucked. But people still bought them. But here's how delusional I was.
Yeah.
I was already like, before the shoes got here, I was like, oh, what are we gonna do when we sell them out? What? Like, we're going to need to start raising capital now, so that way we have more shoes coming in. So, cause what if they sell out? We don't want to be out of shoes. 8 years later, I still have some of those shoes. I probably still have like 100 of those
That's
shoes
so
left.
funny. But you have to be optimistic like that to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You have to be optimistic because then if not, you're never going to dive in head first.
Yep.
Right? If you're thinking about everything that can go wrong, you're never going to want to dive in head first. You have to think about everything that can go right, and you have to obsess over it.
Yeah.
And that's actually what happened to me. When I first got introduced to the idea of buying my first truck, I sat here and I was like, I wrote down for the first 2 months, right? I bought like 2 months after the idea got introduced to me. I wrote down every single potential client. I had a list of like 200, their contact information, whether I think they would have long-term campaigns or short-term campaigns, how much my insurance was. I did the whole research, right? The whole 9. Out of those like 200 clients that I wrote down, maybe 3 of them are the ones that ended up actually booking me.
Yeah.
Like I said, the rest were the artists that ended up booking me. But at first I was like, okay, I can work with this person. I can reach out to this person, this person, this person. None of them reached out to me. But if I didn't have that optimism, I wouldn't have been like, oh, this is a no-brainer. I see all the money that's behind this. This is a no-brainer. I'm about to, I got to do this. And that wasn't the reality of it. It wasn't a no-brainer. But now it was also the beginning of everything else, which was a blessing,
Yeah.
You have to have that optimism to like really dive in head first.
Of course.
That's so funny that I'll take a pair, man.
Yeah. I got a lot of them, 4,000 pairs of shoes right now.
Jesus Christ.
There's a shipping container outside, and it's got 4,000 pairs of shoes.
No
in it still.
way. What's
Yeah.
the style? They're like those ones? They're not the Tonys, but like
So this was
they're similar.
Similar, like the ones I'm wearing. Like, I'll show you.
Yeah. Oh, you're wearing them right now?
Of course.
Oh, no
This
shit.
is our skate shoe. It's still a barefoot shoe, so it's like super flexible.
Oh, wow.
And the bottom is it's a very soft rubber.
Okay.
So I think we used 84A density rubber on it. So it's like really soft, and it sticks to walls.
Okay. Okay.
What a wrestling shoe is, they use a thicker rubber because they're standing on a soft mat. So
Yes.
we're exact opposite. So we need a soft rubber to stick to a hard board or something,
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, man, I don't understand how people are wearing all these wrestling shoes. They're slippery. They're like skinny. You roll your ankle a lot because wrestlers want their ankles to be sideways because they're pushing off of a soft mat.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We're the complete opposite. So our shoes, I just made soft density rubber, wider shoe base or sole base, and just a few other things like ankle support.
You're like encyclopedia of shoe manufacturing now, huh?
Yeah.
You said something about 4A something. I'm like
84A rubber.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a different language to me.
I mean, so that's a pretty soft rubber. You know, I know all this stuff from, I worked at Razor, which is the biggest toy company in the world, basically.
Okay.
So Razor.
Oh, Razor, like Razor scooters. Yeah, okay.
So I was like, you know, I worked for Razor. I was an athlete for Razor for like 10 years. I was the team manager.
No way.
I did everything there, basically sales, marketing. I was the team manager. I started getting really good at social media when it came out in like 2012.
Mm-hmm.
I blew up all of their pages. So then started, you know, running all of their pages.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I didn't want to work in a corporate office anymore.
No, absolutely.
I got to get out of here.
I mean, they're huge, so I could only imagine how corporate.
Dude, things move so slow, and it was so frustrating. I was like, I hate all these barriers, you know, because it started off, they were like paying me to basically do crazy stuff on their toys. And I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm riding go-karts around on my lunch break, doing flips and stuff.
That's
like,
sick. Yeah.
Well, this is what's going to go viral, and clearly it's working. And then HR was like, oh my God, we cannot have this guy riding go-karts
the
through
legal
the street,
team
dodging cars.
No.
They were like, no. He cannot. He needs to stay in the office if he's on salary. And I was like, they were like, okay, so we're going to have you stay here. I was like,
you're like,
that's
this isn't
not
what I signed up for.
Hell no. Okay, then I'm going to go start my own business. I was also like 25.
Okay.
So I was still young. And I wanted to do something with my life.
Absolutely. I think a big issue with entrepreneurs, and like you brought it up, it's like not an issue, it's what drives us, but it's like you said, everything moves so slow, right? And speed kills. At the end of the day, speed kills. I'm like, okay, I want to do this, I got to start it now. Yeah. You know, execution is always going to be what wins. You know, the speed in which you can execute something really determines how fast and how high you end up leveling up, right? Yeah. So with corporate, when you're like, well, I gotta get approval for this. You know, I gotta wait for this. I gotta make sure that the budget got approved. Okay, the idea got approved, but did the budget get approved? Yeah. You know, okay, did the team get approved? Blah blah blah. And it's like, come on, like, let's just get to it. It's actually insane because when you really think about it, you would think those companies would be moving with urgency because they have so much competition and it's a dog-eat-dog world. But no, everyone's just like chilling. Yeah, dude. Sitting around their office.
It moves slow. You know, those two shows out there, we made a show called Santa Stunt Show and a show called Gravity Graveyard. And those are two new seasonal shows. One's Halloween, one's Christmas, obviously, Santa. Mm-hmm. That was like from start to finish within 48 hours. I was like, Santa Stunt Show. All right, buy the domain. You know, it was available. Made a poster. Got us booked at conferences, which is how I mainly sell it. And that was all done within 48 hours.
That's sick.
Like normally, if that was somewhere else, it would have taken forever.
It would have taken a year.
It would have taken, like, they would be like, all right, we need the website person. Can you go search for Santa's Stunt Show and see if this is still available? And then, like, one day later, they're like, okay, so I did a report. This is available, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Like, I did the whole A to Z done in 48 hours.
Well, what's even funnier, you saying that is like, imagine you emailed that guy, the website guy, at 4:30 on a Friday. You're not getting word back till Monday at 9 a.m. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, the domain was available, and now it's not. You know?
Of course it's not. Yeah. Never tell anyone your domains.
No, I should.
Dude, I have so many fucking ideas. I just have a ton of stupid domain names that I was like, this will be a great idea one day. Mm-hmm. And I just buy a domain.
Yeah. I get calls all the time. People are like, hey, we want to sell you the domain Vegas Marketing Agency. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Yeah. That's a hustle, though. That's an actual hustle that people survive off of.
Dude, I've been trying to buy offaxis.com from this guy.
You don't have it?
That's no, this guy bought it in the 90s.
That's so
and he's like, no, I know, but I have this idea for this business that I want to start one day. And I'm like,
shut the fuck
dude,
up.
Dude, you've been holding the domain for 30 years. Just let me buy it.
I'll fuck that fool up for you.
Dude, he's like, I think we're going to make the move next year. He's like 65.
Yeah.
And like, the business has nothing to do with like off-axis also means something in computers or something like that. Uh-huh. Or I don't know, some physio. It's like for us, off-axis means sideways, incorrect in gymnastics, and that's why I started the company. It's like a, slap to all the face of the gymnasts who were talking shit on me when I first started doing flips. Everything was crooked, so they're like, can you do anything that's not off-axis?
Like, bitch. You're like, nah, actually.
So,
No, that's actually like, no, fuck that guy. For real. I can't believe
He's
that.
just holding on. I have offaxis.us, but that's
Okay.
not the same.
It's not.
So we
.com
use
is like
offaxisacrobatics.com
Mhm.
and offaccisathletics.com.
that's actually I'm glad you say that. It's almost as bad as my story. I was trying to get the domain for totomarketing.com, right? It was like a couple years ago, and it was like September 24th, right? And procrastination will kill you every single time, man. Procrastination just is a killer. I ended up waiting like 3 days to get it. In that 3 days, some digital marketing company in Canada bought totomarketing.com.
No way.
So now I do marketingtoto.com. But I don't mind it because it's kind of better for SEO purposes. Having the marketing.
What does Toto stand for?
Taking off, taking over.
Taking off, taking over.
Taking off, taking over. Yes. So it's a dumb joke me and my homies had when we were like 15. You know, just being annoying because there was this like crew called like Team Takeover.
Yeah.
Or something, you know. So we were like Team Over Takeover, and then we started saying Toto. You know, we were like Toto. We were like 15, just being stupid, you know. And then when I started the company, it was Toto Entertainment. So it's taking off, taking over entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it because I'm all about go hard, you know, go all the way, go hard or go home. You know, don't half-ass anything. Whatever you do, you have to go all out, right? And everything that would be at the end of Toto, it makes sense for, right? So taking off, taking over entertainment, taking off, taking over marketing, right? I want to open up a bar. It's going to be Toto's Tavern. So taking off, taking over taverns, you know, things like that. It just flows. Take Toto transportation, whatever, you know, Toto's the umbrella and everything that goes underneath it. It just makes sense, you know, taking off, taking over, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really like, because this is just the beginning. You know, the advertising agency is really like the foundation to build everything else, right? Because when you have the right advertising and the right marketing, you can build any kind of business in the whole world.
Well, you are a marketer, so you should be able to market your marketing business pretty good.
I know, but it's tough.
Like, do you follow Alex Ramosi?
Of course, yeah, hell yeah. You know, one of my biggest regrets in fucking life, dude. I don't smoke weed anymore, right? But I was high as shit at the gym, at the LVAC on Sahara in Decatur.
Yeah.
I was working out. I fucking saw him. But I was too fucking stoned. And I was like, I'll see. This was like 3 years ago, right? And I was following Alex Ramosi at the time still. You know, I was been a big fan of him. I was high as shit. And I saw him. And I was like, oh, if he comes to this is my home gym anyways. If he comes here, I'll see him again. Whatever. And I just kind of bullshitted it. Never saw that motherfucker again. Yeah. I was like, I could have met Alex. God damn it. But I was way too stoned and I felt awkward.
I used to see him at the Dragon's Lair.
Oh, no, the gym.
He worked out there for
nice.
quite a while. I would go at like 6 o'clock for, you know, probably like 6 months or so. I would go at like super early.
And you'd be there.
And he would always be there. And he would be carrying around this like, it was like a hardware bag, but he would put his like protein shakes in it. And
nice.
I didn't know who he was at the time.
Yeah.
I just knew him from the gym, and then he started popping up on my feed.
He's a killer, like, bro.
That's the guy from the gym.
That's so crazy.
You know, I actually paid $5,000 to go to his business skilling workshop recently. It was super good.
Oh, nice. The one where he dropped the book?
No. So I went after he dropped the book. Actually. Yeah. It was just like you pay to be in a room with a bunch of other people that make over $1 million a year, and they tell you how to scale your business and like the things. Well, like my main takeaway was just don't do a bunch of things and just don't like scatter all your resources. Just do what works and just do double of it.
Okay, I like 10 that. Times more. Yeah, that's a good takeaway.
For us, conferences is where I spend or where we sell almost all of our shows.
I was gonna ask you. Oh, at the actual conference, you sell the shows. Well, or do you do shows at the conference? Have you done shows at a conference?
Yeah, so no.
Okay.
But, there is showcasing and stuff that you could do.
Okay.
Last year at the main conference that we go to, which is called Western Fairs Association, we brought a trampoline wall, and I just got a 20 by 20 booth. And we had the trampoline wall in the booth, which I was like, there's no way they're going to let us do this.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, sure. Like,
that's tight.
I was like, wait, so I don't even have to pay for the showcase? I could just put the tramp ball in my booth? And they're like, yeah.
That's fucking sick.
I was like, oh my God, of course we're going to do that. So
yeah.
Last year we like cleaned house on that show.
That's sick. Because people see it and they're like, holy shit.
We had Dylan and Salmon like bouncing off the roof, touching
the ceiling.
It was
here at the convention center?
No, None of them are in Vegas.
Okay.
Actually, next year this one's going to be in Vegas next year.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that one. But there are always other places.
Maybe you'll have to do a takeover with me.
I was thinking about that for sure. Something that's like centrally focused around that area would like work super well.
Absolutely. And that's what we do. That's what we do for those. No, it's funny you brought up the Dragon's Lair, actually. Were you going there for a while?
For the last 2 years.
Okay,
I don't go there anymore, though.
Okay. So they booked me during Mr. Olympia last year. They had an activation at Resorts World.
Yep.
And then like the day after, or the day of, the day before, they booked me for like 4 or 5 days leading up to the final day of Mr. Olympia, right? I think it was Mr. Olympia was like 3-4 days, something like that.
Yep.
So they had me the day before and then all days Mr. Olympia. The day before the last day, the second and last day, the girl or the lady I was in talks with, I'm assuming she does her marketing or whatever, she reached out to me and she's like, yeah, obviously, they booked my truck, right? So they're like, yeah, obviously your truck's working. We're sold out. We're sold out for our activation. I was like, hell yeah, that's awesome. That's probably the only gym client I've had. So it's just funny that you brought them up.
Well, I was there during the activation and it was fucking packed.
Was it?
I am not a bodybuilder. I don't know
me.
anything about bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was the Olympia. I just showed up to the gym like a normal person and I'm like, the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And like they're like, oh, you're gonna have to wait in that line. I was like, I'm a member. They're like, oh, you're a member. Oh, okay, come on in.
Okay, that's tough.
Like, what the fuck is a member doing here on the Mr. Olympia? And I get in there and like every machine is taken.
Like, the buffest motherfuckers in the world.
That's kind of why I stopped going there because it was just like
getting packed out.
No, it's not too packed in there, but it was during Mr. Olympia.
Oh, yeah.
But everyone's in there just like straight bodybuilding, eating steroids for breakfast and shit, and I'm like,
breakfast, lunch,
I'm just trying to like stay in shape, I can still like do flips and stuff.
And I'm the same way. I don't work out for like for crazy physique or something. It's like I just want to stay in shape.
I'm just trying to maintain and put less stress on my body. Like, have you seen these things before, by the way?
No, I was gonna ask you what that is. I was like, is that an Apple Watch? No, and I was like, no, that's a
dude. This Whoop, it's called Whoop.
Okay.
This is the new Whoop 5.0. I just got it recently, and it tracks everything on your body. It's my new favorite thing that AI has brought about this world. Is like this Whoop tracks I think it's just tracking my pulse and like other movements and stuff.
Okay.
But the data that gives me on my body and like
through an app or what?
Through
an app on your phone.
Tells you it tells you about your sleep, how you slept last night, how much stress you had during your sleep. I didn't realize how fucked up your sleep is when you're drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
It's like it was like 3 hours of stress
sleep
last night, and it like shows my heart rate up like crazy in the middle of the night. I was like,
wow.
That's alarming. Like that's one of the reasons why I stopped drinking.
Oh, you just completely cut it out, or what?
I mean, I'm 5 days sober, so I'm not like that fucking sober. But
it's okay, like, man. I'm about 17 hours now.
Dude. No, I just like I don't know. This thing basically told me, is like, you need to chill out on alcohol.
Yeah. No, alcohol.
And then I did a blood test. And that also told me I needed to chill out.
Okay.
For my heart's sake. And I was like, all right, I think I've seen enough red flags that I should probably
just chill. And that's the problem, man, with living in Vegas. And like, even entrepreneur life, go meet people and stuff like that. You know, I'll end up being at a show or at a club, and it's all for business reasons. Yeah. You're kind of just like, well, this is just part of the game. I have to drink, right? And it's like, before you know, you're like, damn, I just drank 2-3 days in a row. Holy shit, you know? And it's for me, like, it gives me like anxiety. Like before this, I was working, I was in bed, but working on my laptop. And my heart was pounding. And I felt a weird anxiety. And I know how to handle my anxiety pretty well, but still, I was like, why am I putting myself through this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I did 3 conferences in a row. And one was the Rocky Mountain one. It was in Billings, Montana. Then I went to IAPA, which is the theme park conference, which is in Orlando. First one I said Billings. This one's Orlando. Then I went to Denver. And it was basically like Tanner Gets Drunk tour. Like I was just drinking 4 days in a row. And this first one is just the funniest thing. You'll love this. The conference doesn't have a showroom. Okay. Everyone turns their hotel room into their booth. So it's just like the perfect recipe for everyone to get fucking wasted.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah.
What kind of hotel is it? Like,
It's like a Motel 6.
oh, shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's like a decent sized one.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Not like a normal shitty one.
Yeah.
But it was just like a motel where you just walk around, and every single room for like a few hallways is just like a booth, you know. I had like everyone does like certain themes, and you just try to like lure in the show buyers. Like that's like the objective is to get buyers, fair CEOs, and other people into your room so you can like pitch them on why they should buy your show this year. And you know, I did what's the Yappuccino called? Espresso martinis. So I was like, I'm gonna do a Christmas theme, so it's gonna be gingerbread cookies and espresso martinis.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't realize how bad espresso martinis fuck with your heart.
Absolutely.
I just drank them 4 days in a row, and I was like, I think I'm
sitting there like
a heart attack. So I just bought a bunch of bottles of espresso martini, and I was just drinking that the whole time, like
Jesus
talking to people,
Christ.
and then I went from there to another one to another one.
Uh-huh.
It's just like
4 days straight.
Dude, my thing was like, what is wrong with you? I was like,
Oh,
man.
But I mean, that's the problem though. They have so much caffeine and the alcohol. It's like a fucking. I mean, they even say Red Bulls. You know, on the can it says, "Do not drink with alcohol."
Yeah.
You know that mixture is just not it. Alcohol with caffeine.
No.
And espresso martinis,
That's
man.
how you die.
No, absolutely. And I get, like I said, I get super bad and like I get what they call hangxiety.
Yeah.
I'm hungover and I'm just like, oh, I was a fucking fool last night. You know what I mean?
Dude, I always think that like the next day I'm like, man, I shouldn't have hard pitched them like so. I'm like, fuck, shouldn't have said
I should
that.
have just kicked it. I should
No,
have just.
shut the fuck up.
I swear to God.
Should have tried to sell that guy so many times in one day. He probably thinks I'm annoying.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because that's never is the case though. Everybody's in their own zone. Everybody's living their own world. I think you kind of learn that as an entrepreneur, right? It kind of goes hand in hand with like, it's your vision. No one's gonna see it through but yourself. You know, that's why AI is so revolutionary because you can get shit done at your time, at your speed, you know, at your pace, right? Because that's the whole thing that you learn growing up. You know, you're like, oh my God, everyone's looking at my pimple. Oh my God, everyone thinks my fucking nose is big or some shit, right? And then you grow up and you're just like, holy shit, everyone is worried about what everyone is thinking. So no one's ever actually thinking that shit. Everyone's sitting there going through life worried about that shit. You know, everyone's in their own world.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the sooner you realize that, and I learned that at a young age, but then the alcohol kicks in, the anxiety kicks in, and it fucking goes out the window.
Yeah, I mean that's why I stopped smoking weed too, because I would like, I would film. I vlogged every day for like 3 years.
Nice.
And I would film a vlog, I would upload it, and then I would go smoke weed, and I would regret everything that I said on the video, and I would just get like anxious about it. I'm like, oh, I gotta stop. I smoke weed every once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's like the tiniest bit.
And even then,
right before I go into the gym.
Well, here's the thing. That's where I was. I wanted to quit for like a year. And every time I would smoke, I'd be like, I kind of regret smoking.
Yeah.
I would just did it out of habit because I smoked since I was 14 years old. You know, I smoked for 15, 16 years. And I was like, oh, you know, I just do this. It's just part of who I am. You know, I identified with it, right?
Yeah.
And there's something very dangerous. Identifying with something is either very powerful or very dangerous, depending on how you use it, right? And I identified with like, you know, I'm just a pothead. I just smoke weed, you know? And then kind of went through like some dark shit back in 2020 or beginning in 2021. And at that time, I quit for like 6 months because the anxiety it was giving me because of what I was going through was so bad. And then since then, every time I smoked, it's almost like it would stress me out more than it would relieve my stress, right? And I broke it down on a frequency level, right? And it's like, okay, when I was 15, 16, 17, you know, when I was young, you're vibrating at a frequency right here, right? When you're sober.
Yep.
Because you're still learning life. You don't know yourself. You know, that's just, you know, you're kind of a shallow human being, right? So you're 15 years old, and so you're vibrating at this frequency. And then you'd get high. Now you're vibrating at this frequency. But think about every single drug is a frequency, and it never changes, right?
True.
But now as you grow up and you become more self-aware, you become more yourself, you're naturally here, right? At least, you know, good people, you know, people that are good at life, you know, you're naturally at this frequency. So now when you smoke weed, you're back you go down a frequency level.
Yeah.
You know, you go. It's like this was when you're 15. This is your frequency. So when you got high, you literally your frequency would go up.
Yeah.
Because you're naturally at a low frequency. You know, and then now when you're going through life sober, living life, just becoming a man and everything, you're naturally at this frequency. Now when you smoke weed, you go down because the weed is still the same frequency. Cocaine, weed, any drug is the same frequency. It never changes. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I learned that. I was like, wow, every single time I smoke weed, I'm just going down in frequency.
Yep.
And that's why I feel so anxious. Like I feel like my 15-year-old self, my 16-year-old self, because I'm the same frequency that I was every single day back then.
Yeah.
And it's and I'm not downing on weed. I actually used to be. That was my first business ever. I was besides selling weed, Selling weed. No, yeah, but I turned it into something. No, exactly. You got to. Every entrepreneur did, Yep. But I actually turned it into something really dope. I used to make cannabis coconut oil. So I used to infuse coconut oil with weed, and I would make medicated food. So anything you could think of medicated, I've made before. I used to be a cannabis chef. I made medicated sushi, carne asada fries, chicken wings, fucking
I love carne asada fries.
Bro, tacos, collard greens with like barbecue ribs, everything you could ever think of, I've made medicated. And I'm talking like not just like, oh, it gets you high. Like, no, this shit would ruin people's days. This shit would ruin people's weeks. And yeah, no, so that was the beginning of like I built a whole brand behind it.
Yeah.
Right. I made it like my whole journey as an entrepreneur has been crazy how everything was connected. Right. I would make jars of coconut oil, I would label it, do the whole shebang, and I would sell the coconut oil to people. How I would push it was by making the medicated food and making content. This was 2014, 2013. Right. I was making content of me cooking with the coconut oil. Well, then guess what happened? My sales started to go down, because I was just making the same content over and over. So I was like, how do I blow this up? How do I get more attention on my brand, on my coconut oil brand? So then I did my first show ever, my first hip music live event called Vibes in the Valley. I just did the 8th annual Vibes in the Valley last weekend, right? It was my first ever Vibes in the Valley. I put together a show and I sponsored it by my coconut oil.
Yeah. And
my sales shot through the roof because people were like, oh, what's this coconut oil brand that's sponsoring a live music event? And then that's how I started doing live shows.
Yeah.
Literally just a marketing tactic to grow my coconut oil business 9 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A successful entrepreneur is just someone who didn't give up.
Just keeps trying.
Just keep trying.
Just keeps trying.
If you look back on it, like I've probably had like 5 failed businesses out of 7.
Yes, exactly. And it's interesting because even a business that is successful, you have to pivot, right? At first, all I owned was a Billboard truck. And that's cool. It makes money. But I was like, people aren't going to take me seriously enough if, like, at the end of the day, my goal is to provide as much value as possible to my clients. Yeah. So then I started saying, fuck just having the truck. Let me get some billboards. Let me get this. Right? And even the pivot from, I work with artists. Artists book me. And like I told you, I had to make the pivot from artists to working with corporations, working with convention exhibitors, things like that, because the artists weren't booking me as frequently. They didn't have money, things like that. Every successful business owner has to pivot. And that's part of the journey. You pivot, and then the way marketing works change. So now you pivot and do this. And then the market doesn't like your product anymore because something better came out. Okay, now you got to do this. Yep. It's all about really like just pivoting and adapting, overcoming, and you just keep going. And then eventually you're just like, holy shit, people are hitting me up. I don't even have to market. Obviously, you still have to market, but it's like, bro, I'll lay in bed, not post anything on my business page for a couple of days or whatever, and I'm like, holy shit, I just made 10 grand in fucking 2 days. People don't make that in 3 months. Yeah. And I was laying in bed. I'll be hungover just on my phone, and somebody will, hey, can we book this, and this next week? Because a lot of my clients are convention exhibitors, like I told you. So they're not retainers, but they come back every single year for that AVN, CES, whatever the convention is. So it's crazy to like, once you put in the work, the fruits of your labor eventually sprout. You know, and a lot of times, and I'm sure you know, a lot of times it might feel like it's like, fuck, I'm all for nothing. Been doing this, this, and this, and you don't see progress, and you're 2 years in, you're 3 years in, you're 4 years in. Then eventually you're just like, holy shit, I'm making money in my sleep. Because everything is, all the work that I put in, all those seeds that I planted are finally sprouting, you know? And everything that you ever do is never for nothing.
Yeah.
You might not see the result right then and there, but eventually the results show.
Yeah. We did 5 years without making money.
Yep.
3 years of it was just drowning in debt, and I was just doing DoorDash every single day for 8 hours a day just to like pay my bills, and I would just keep recycling the off-access money. And then like year 4 and 5, well, COVID kind of put a dent in everything for a little bit. That kind of probably would have been profitable in like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But you know, and then we were like kind of like breaking even for a couple of years, and it wasn't until 2023 that everything kind of took off, and it was just like one move that I made. It was getting an agent and going to these conferences. Because I was like, why aren't these cold calls working?
Yeah.
Running ads, cold calls, all the stuff, and it's because like people who buy expensive shows for fairs, they want to know the person, and
they want to see you face to face, shake your hand.
They're like essentially trusting me with a large amount of money. And we're like the most expensive show on the fair market. So for me to sell something at that price, they got to know me. Like I didn't even sign with my agent until I met him in person. I was like, this is non-negotiable. I don't want to just have some random person. He showed up to our show, and I was like, all right, I like this guy.
Okay.
So, you know. No,
that's huge. That's huge. And it's interesting. Just that little pivot. That little pivot changed everything for you.
4 to 5x the company overnight.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And in the moment when you're drowning in it, you're like, nothing works. I'm just doing this out of fucking habit, damn near. I'm just doing this because I've been doing this at this point. Like, fuck, something has to work. But you put out 1,000 fishing poles, you're gonna catch a fish or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I asked my client that we had a show at, I was like, hey, do you have any suggestions on how I could book more fairs like you? And he's like, well, yeah, why don't you just go to the fair convention? And I was like,
you're like, wait, what the fuck?
Fair convention? How have I been in this business for 5 years? I didn't think about fair conventions.
I didn't know there was.
Dude, there's a lot of fair conventions.
And by fairs, you mean like literally like festivals and stuff? Or is it like fairs, like a state fair?
State fairs.
Okay.
So it's like regions of the country. You know, Western fairs is like California, Oregon, Nevada, you know, the western side. There's the International Fair Association, which is the whole country and Canada. That's mainly who goes to it. You know, there's the Florida Fair Convention, and I go to about 5 of them a year. And like, just going to it doesn't mean you're gonna do well, because unfortunately, I see a lot of people that go to them, and they don't have a good product, and they actually don't sell anything. So you have to have
the product needs
obviously.
The product
it's
matters,
like the advertising has to advertise, otherwise it's not going to do anything.
Absolutely.
So if you don't have a good product and you don't have a good offer that stands out amongst, you know, because there's a lot of, it's going to be hard to sell a juggling act. There's a lot of jugglers, and if you don't stand out, then you're probably not going to sell anything.
Absolutely. Were you nervous when you went to your first one?
Dude, no. I'm like
You're
so
excited.
Delusional. I'm like, we're gonna fucking kill this.
Everyone there. Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to war. I also like, I knew I'm not gonna just buy a ticket to this fair conference and like be like everyone else. I was like, how can I outspend everyone in advertising?
Yes.
And we bought the gold package,
booth,
you know, everything. Every possible thing you could do to it. I ran email marketing, all this stuff, and on top of that, I'm also signed with the biggest agency in the fair industry. So,
nice!
Like,
fuck yeah,
everything lined up. But
I
had spent $10,000 at minimum before like, and we didn't even sell a show for like
months,
4 or 6 months after
that.
Shit.
So this was all or nothing.
Yeah,
type
of
thing.
It was all or nothing.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of it, though. Realistically, like I said, like, you were so optimistic that you dove in head first, and you almost, like, I love that quote that's like, nothing is more powerful and dangerous than a man that has nothing to lose. You know, a man whose back's against the corner, and you're just like, this has to work. I have no other choice but for this to work.
Yeah.
And guess what? Every single time, God finds a way. You find your execution finds a way, and you're like, holy shit, it worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when it happens the most, when you're just like drowning in debt, everyone's on your ass, bills are piling up, this, that, and a third, no client anywhere to be seen. And then you're just like, holy shit, the universe just provided me an opportunity, and I executed through the opportunity too, because that's important as well, but I executed through the opportunity, and now my business is abundant. It's just like that. But you have to do it. Like you said, it's like so many people quit. You ever seen that meme when it's like this guy, it's two guys, and they're like mining for diamonds, and this guy, but they're like one's on top of the other, right? And this guy turns around and he gives up, and he's like, his head's down and he's all upset. And the other guy was literally, the next hit was the diamonds.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just never know, right? Like right when you feel like giving up, that's when the blessings start pouring in, if you're consistently putting in the work.
Yeah.
And the problem is most people just give up, man. It's easy to just be like, fuck, I could just take the skills that I've developed through this journey and go get a nice corporate job with a nice salary, and I know I'm good.
Yeah. Hormozy had a good quote. He said, business is about rolling the dice, and it's like rolling a dice. You don't know how many sides are on the dice, but every time you hit a certain number, you mark it off. And, you could roll the dice 20 times without hitting anything, and then you look at the other guy and he's hit like 3, and you're like,
what the fuck?
You can't just give up because you don't know how many sides on the dice. But the more times you keep rolling it, once you get to like 6 to 8 years like we are at, then you hit almost every single time.
Yep.
Like our sales probably at like 25 to 50% closing rate at this point.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, what's cool about it too, it's once you create a standard for your company, and once you build that repertoire for your company, right? You start to not accept anything less.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. Because when you tell the universe, now this is what I accept. I don't want no $200 clients. I don't want that shit. I want the big dogs. The universe starts throwing you the big dogs.
Yeah. Our first show we did, I think I made $10,000 for a 2-month contract, which is like, we do like $10 or $10,000 a day now.
Yeah.
Like that's just the minimum. I just don't touch numbers below that because it's just like,
it's not worth the headache.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's hard because it takes just as much work to put that show together as it does a show that's,
$100K.
Yes.
It's the same work. It's the same work.
Same work.
Absolutely. And it's almost the same frequency too. I talk about this a lot, where it's like the same frequency that you were vibrating at when you got the $10,000 deal, and you were like, holy shit, I just made 10 grand off my business. What the fuck? That was a big milestone. That same frequency is the same exact frequency that you need to be in to lock in the $10 million deal or the $100 million deal.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just as easy to get. It's just, and Hormozy talks about that too. Who are you pitching? You want to make more money, start pitching your same solution to wealthier clients.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Like for example, you got so much potential in your business because it's like, okay, we're just selling $30,000, $40,000 shows. Okay, well, what about when fucking EDC Orlando or somebody reaches out to you? That same $30,000 show, $40,000 show that took the same amount of planning for a $10,000 show, now you can charge Insomniac $500,000.
Yeah.
$1 million. And that's just an example, really, but it's the same exact energy, the same exact frequency. It all goes hand in hand. It's just, who are you pitching?
Yeah. It's unfortunate that when a show gets to being so big, they actually don't pay.
Really?
Like, we're doing the Super Bowl this year. And it was so hard to get anything. I don't want to say the number out loud, but I was like,
guaranteed.
Oh, the Super Bowl's reaching out. All right, let's double our numbers again. And like, dude, it's because they're like such a big thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they don't even pay their halftime performer.
I know.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It was hard. It was like
So they're
pulling
like
teeth
the
to get any
audacity
money out
of this.
them.
They're like the audacity of this motherfucker.
Dude,
And you're like, hey, it's gonna cost me money, and we're a business. Come on now.
we did the Rose Parade last year. A lot of the performers there didn't get paid at all.
Really?
Yeah, they
So
just do it for free. for
Where at
dancers
the
and
Super Bowl
stuff.
are you doing? What are you doing
We're doing a trampoline wall show
at the Super
for-
Bowl?
at the Super Bowl. It's
Okay.
not halftime.
Okay.
Halftime is like a self-contained event.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
artist puts on their own thing.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait for
For
Bad
free.
Bunny. I
But-
can't wait for
Yeah,
this.
it is Bad Bunny, right?
He's gonna fucking put on a show.
And so we're the VIP party.
Okay.
And it's so funny because 10 years ago when I worked for someone else, I performed at the same Super Bowl stadium. So this one's at Santa
San
Clara.
Francisco. Yeah.
10 years ago when I was there,
Uh-huh.
I performed there as a stilt walker. And
Really?
now 10 years later,
You're
I
running
have
it.
this. I just signed the contract like a couple days ago.
Oh,
so now I can
congratulations,
talk
man.
about it.
That's awesome.
But it's been in the works
Congratulations.
for like months.
Mm-hmm.
And now like I have to do all kinds of crazy stuff, like create this CAD design that shows like every inch of the stage and how it's going to piece together. And I have to have an engineer sign off on
And they're
it.
not even paying you enough.
They're not paying us that much. Like I don't want to complain because it's not that bad.
No.
It's probably more than like most performers that get in there, but
Yeah.
also like I get it.
Yeah, I
From
get
their
it.
side, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking advertise the shit out of us being at the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
You know, like us being at the Rose Parade probably got us the Super Bowl. And
Absolutely.
the Super Bowl
It,
probably will
it's
line
a
up for
tack
other
onto your
things.
resume. It's a tack
sure.
onto your resume. I mean, I tell people that all the time. I mean, I did Kamala Harris's campaign here in Vegas on my
Yeah.
Billboard truck. I worked with Kanye West here in Vegas on my Billboard truck. Worked with some big people, and I didn't charge them an absolute ignorant amount of money. You know what I mean? Because I charge them a little bit more, but not too much more. Because just working with them is so good on the resume that when you go do these other campaigns, what it does is it gives your company so much more authority.
Yeah, the
Oh
credibility.
shit!
is everything.
If Kamala or everyone knows how fucking strict Kanye is. Oh shit! If Kanye worked with you, you know, and it wasn't just Kanye. I did Kanye when he did the Donda live stream, but then I did when he dropped the Yeezy pods too. So it's more than once, right?
Yeah.
I worked with Kanye I think 2-3 times now. So it's like just having that on the resume for people when they see that, you know, it just elevates your brand in their eyes. And so does the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is the event of all events.
I know.
So what that's gonna do is, you know, you put that together in your pitch deck or something. You know?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's front and center, baby.
I'll show you our reel right after this.
Yeah.
But you know, we utilize this shit. I paid one of my clients $2,000 just to do a reference video at the end of our show reel.
Nice.
Yeah, he's the CEO of the New Mexico State Fair, and he's
Okay.
pretty well known within the fair industry.
Mm-hmm.
So like, his word goes pretty far.
Yes, him
And
vouching for your company.
We have like double what we had last year
That's fucking
already
sick, yeah.
booked. So it's like
That's it's so interesting for you because, like, for me, for example, there's nobody this young. I just turned 30, right? There's nobody young doing what I'm doing, right? The outdoor advertising space. Everybody in it's like 85 years
You're
old.
only 30.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm 35.
You see, that's not bad. No, that's not
Yeah.
bad. No, I just turned 30 literally like 3 weeks ago. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like there's no one doing what I'm doing, right? It's very niche. So it's trial and error, as you know, because I can't just go to somebody and be like, hey, how do I build this agency? There's
Yeah.
nobody that's done what I'm doing, especially the level and the assets that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing my shit like some 85-year-old old white guy that's been in it because his dad started the company in motherfucking 1889. You know what I mean? So I'm really just learning as I go. And I'm sure with you, it's the same thing. I don't know anybody else that's running a fucking acrobat show. You know?
Yeah. I mean, especially at this level, like the people that, you know, when I'm asking people for $40,000 plus, you know, I'm just some young kid, especially amongst this industry. All the other people are much older and they're like more established. So like I always wear suits and I dress up super nice because I'm like I'm a skate park kid who's asking these like CEOs and stuff to give me $30,000 to $50,000 for a show. I need to look and present the part.
Absolutely.
You know, I was listening to this guy he doesn't know it yet, but he's like one of my mentors. I've been like following him for the last few months. Is the guy that I was telling you about. And his name's Ryan Stana, and I was listening to one of his podcasts, and he was talking about how he would pay his roommates when he first started the company because he was like 25 years old. He would pay them to pick up the phone so it looked like he had a secretary. And I'm like, fuck, that's genius.
It is.
I always answer the phone, and they're like, they get the CEO on the phone like right away. Like, this can't be a big company.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm like, oh, that's a great idea.
It's all about perception, and you have to control that perception. Absolutely.
For sure, especially as a young entrepreneur.
Because it's harder to get people to take you seriously. You know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think there's different ways to go about it, right? Because I take a lot of pride in my authenticity too, though. Because, for example, if I'm working with a client with a brand, I'm normally in contact with a marketing director. People in marketing are normally super laid back. That's why they're in marketing, right? They're the ones in the corporate that are like, man, I'm not trying to be in the office. I'm trying to be doing a dope ass activation. You know, I'm trying to do this, do that, right? And them being cool like that, and me I'm always going to be my authentic self. It makes them fuck with me as a person, right? So who would they rather work with? Danny, the kid that they fuck with because he's himself, or are they going to call fucking Billy Bob, the 75-year-old account executive for this advertising agency?
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't really understand the culture and what, you know, the placements and the strategic placements of things so that it's seen when it's supposed to be seen, right? So I'm definitely understand, like, getting suited and booted and, you know, being professional. But at the same time, I'm also a strong believer in being your authentic self and just pulling up, you know, come as you are. Because authenticity is something that, like, I'm a strong believer that all human beings, we're all connected, right? So when you're authentically yourself, it makes somebody else relate to you because we're all the same. We're all living the same life, just different journeys, you know, different experiences, things, and so forth. So when you're authentically yourself, it makes people, especially the older people, live vicariously through you because they're just like, oh man, this young bull's doing it, you know, and he's still in a position, and he's still himself, right? And they relate to you, they resonate with you because of that, you know, and that goes a long way. It makes them want to work with you because at the end of the day, people only buy from people that they like.
Of course.
Me and you could sell the same product to this guy, to Billy, and if Billy likes you more than me, he's going to buy it from you.
Yep.
No matter what. Even if it's more expensive.
I only rep brands of like influencers that I like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's honestly what's crazy about nowadays too, though. The personal brand is so powerful. The face behind the brand is so damn powerful because, and I always use this example, who's got more followers on Instagram, Jeff Bezos or Amazon? Jeff Bezos. Who's got more, and Amazon's the fucking biggest company in the world.
Yeah.
Who's got more followers on Instagram? Elon Musk or Tesla?
Yep. Same thing for UFC, Connor or UFC.
Yes, exactly. It's about the face. It's about the face behind the company.
Yeah.
You know, and people, because we're at that point in the technology war, and just as the technology culture era, you know, that people want to connect. People want to connect with other human beings. And when they fuck with you as a person, they're going to support you. And I'm the same way. You know, I'm like, okay, if two people sell shoes, right? If Jordan and, you know, Jordan drops some Jordans and LeBron drops some LeBrons, I'm going to buy some Jordans every single time because I fuck with him. I fuck with him. He's just a fucking G. Yeah. LeBron's, you know, one of the GOATs for sure. But Jordan, I'm like, I don't think motherfuckers understand. Fool's getting fucked up. He was fucking gambling all night. Coming back.
I would buy some Lucas.
Some Lucas? Oh, yeah. I bet you're a Luka guy.
Yeah.
See, I'm a Celtics fan. I grew up, I was born in Puerto Rico, but I moved to Boston at a young age, at 6. So I'm a big Boston guy. So I liked Luka, but I can't like him anymore.
I just got into basketball a couple of years ago. I watched the Mavericks. Then fucking Mavericks straight. It was like, fuck it, I like the Lakers now. Yeah. And that was the team I liked growing up because I'm from LA. So
okay.
I was like, all right, back to the Lakers.
No, I feel that.
I'll deal with LeBron being on the team right
now. Yeah, exactly. No, you know what's funny about that, actually? I kind of did the same thing. I grew up a Celtics fan, and then Dwayne Wade was my favorite player of all time, and he played for the Heat. Saying that was like my hero, my idol growing up. So I just became like a Dwayne Wade Heat fan first, Celtics fan secondary.
Yeah.
And then once he left, I was like, all right, I'm back to being a Celtics fan.
Yeah.
You know? Because at the end of the day, we fuck with the players. You know? I feel like at least, especially like any grown man or anything, it's like, man, if I just, first of all, these guys are all playing a game making millions of dollars. So I support it. Good for you. You know, you hustled you're making $30 million a year because you committed to a discipline and you fucking are the best of the best. That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
So it's like I fuck with individual players, some more than others. But, at the end of the day, a team's a team. You know, they're just as replaceable. They're just employees.
Yeah.
They're super replaceable. And Luka showed us that.
That's true.
Luka fucking showed us.
World.
I know. That shit was fucking crazy. But, it's just like, that's why we're doing what we're doing, though, I think. Part of the reason why we do what we do is we have a vision for our businesses, and nobody can take that from us.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the beauty of it is this is mine, and nobody can take your work ethic from you, and all you have to do is show up every day, keep going, and you're going to get there, whatever the vision is, whatever your end goal is, you're going to get there no matter what. Might take longer than you anticipated, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I like Andrew Tate said once, he said I've never seen a man focus on something every single day, work hard, shake hands, go out there and try to grow something and not succeed.
Yeah.
That's exactly what, that's facts.
Yep.
If you're out there and you're really grinding every single day and it's, you're putting your work ethic on the line every single day, it's going to happen eventually no matter what. And that's kind of what separates us from normal people. Normal people want the security, but they don't understand there's unlimited security in what we're doing, because I know for a fact it's like, oh, I'm gonna get to where I want to get to.
Yeah.
Is it tomorrow? Don't know. It could be. And
never is.
I like how you. No, I know it never is, but it will be
next week or something.
No, I try next week. But that's the beauty of it, though. Is like I wake up every day, and I like how you're optimistic too, because you have to be. I wake up every day like, oh, I could wake up today and make $10 million. The fuck? What's stopping me? I've planted all the seeds. It's just a matter of when is God saying, oh, it's time. You did what you needed to do.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? And it's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah. Cool. On that note, where can everyone find you at?
So you can follow my Instagram, Calderin Danny. Calderin Danny. Yes, Calderin Danny. And my business Instagram is Toto Marketing _. So it's TOTO Marketing _. You can go on our website. It's marketingtoto.com. Yeah, I mean, if you can find our email on there, email us if you guys, if people want to inquire about doing advertising. Yeah. Like I said, we don't just do Vegas. I definitely specialize in Vegas, but I'm doing a campaign in San Francisco quite literally as we speak. These guys are blowing me up right now. Like, we want photos of the truck. I'm like, relax, it's on the road. Right. But yeah, anybody ever needs some advertising, I'm the guy.
Cool.
I'm the guy. I just literally dropped the whole book. I spent the last year of my life fucking writing it, called Takeover. And it's literally about outdoor advertising and using it to help leverage your brand and how people view and perceive your business.
Sweet. We're going to do business one day.
Absolutely.
It's probably going to be next year, actually.
I'm ready when you are.
We start doing some rentals of these arenas and stuff.
Absolutely. And it's right around the corner for you, brother. That's just fucking dope. Is your goal to eventually do get like a Vegas show residency, like inside a casino? Or is that something you don't really care for?
Honestly, Fremont's kind of cooler. There's way more fucking people in there. Like, there's no way I'm ever going to get 10,000 people to fit in an arena.
Yes.
So, like, Fremont's pretty cool, and that kind of already, like, checked that box for me. And we're not really, like, an adult show.
Okay.
So, like, I don't think we're going to do well in Vegas.
Like a Awakening or a Circus Soleil type of thing? You don't think that's really...
Maybe.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I just think it's consistent money for sure.
Yeah.
Those Vegas shows, I've been to some shit-ass fucking Vegas shows where I'm just like, dude, I just spent an hour and a half on this show, and I'm looking around, I'm like, I paid $50. There's 200 fucking shows. There's 200 seats here. It's not even big shows,
Yeah.
200 seats here, and these guys do 6 shows a night. I'm doing the math. I'm like 7 days a week. I'm like, these motherfuckers are making a killing off this shit-ass show. What the fuck? So me knowing that your product is dope, I'm like, there has to be a market within Vegas with that.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
We'll see.
Time will tell. But I like that you're doing the I'm a Fremont kid at heart.
Yeah.
I'm a Fremont kid at heart, so.
We got a Fremont show on New Year's Eve. So if you guys are in Vegas, come by New Year's.
I might have to swing by. I have no New Year's
We'll be there 8 o'clock through 2 in the morning, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The whole time you guys are flipping? That's not.
We're on and off.
Okay.
There's multiple teams.
Okay.
It'll be Team A and Team B, like kind of rotating.
Okay. No, congratulations, man. That's actually really, really big.
Thanks.
I'm excited for your guys' journey.
Thanks.
That's fucking awesome, and I appreciate you for having me, brother. For
Yeah. Thanks. All right, everyone. Make sure you subscribe. See you in the next one. Buy some shoes.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Later.
That concludes this episode of the Off Axis Podcast. If you guys found value in this, please consider sharing with your friends. Also, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, everyone.